Tonight on CTV, a new president steps into office at ASCSU.
A free speech wall is erected in the LSC Plaza.
And the Pride Center has a new director.
All that and more starting now on CTV.
Hello and welcome to CTV Thursday. I'm Marlo Lundak.
And I'm Amelia Casteneda. Here's what's happening in the world of news.
ASCSU met Wednesday night after Thanksgiving break to finish up the final steps to begin moving forward from the 12-week impeachment.
This semester's been something that I don't know how to feel about. This is the first time in my life where, honestly, I'm terrified by the uncertainty that lies ahead. And, although I'm scared, I maintain the dedication to this job and more importantly to the students, and I will not stop giving my all to CSU and to the Fort Collins community.
Michael Wells spoke in front of his colleagues Wednesday night after the student government ratified him as the new president of ASCSU after the impeachment of former President Josh Silva. After Wells was sworn in, he introduced Cole Wise, former chief of staff, as his candidate for new vice president. Wells told his colleagues that he believes Wise is great at what he does, he trusts him wholeheartedly, and is a stand-up guy.
Serving as chief of staff has taught me to value the importance of every individual in ASCSU and to understand something very important. We are all learning on the job here. ASCSU is a learning environment, and I cannot promise any one of you that I will be perfect.
After Wise's speech, there was a short Q&A session for the candidate. Senate then voted 26-0-2 in favor of Wise becoming the new vice president. Wise only needed a 2/3 vote to take over the position.
Please welcome your new ASCSU Vice President, Cole Wise.
CTV had the chance to speak with the new president and vice president on some of their upcoming plans while in office.
As cheesy as it sounds, is creating just a tangible checklist board for us to have in our back office. So any student can come in and see what we're working on. They shouldn't have to wait to ask or wait for us to tell them. People should be able to come in and know exactly what we're doing.
Wells and Wise have plans to repair damaged relationships and rebuild trust between students and internally within ASCSU. We are expecting this to be one of the last reports on student government until next year.
The House of Representatives passed a bill November 16th, which would make graduate school more expensive and potentially force future and current candidates out of their degree programs. CSU Graduate School responded to the bill over Thanksgiving break. In an email, they advised students to make themselves aware of the issues. They informed students that CSU has lobbyists working to monitor the issue and work to defend students and their educations. Lindsay Lammers, president of the Graduate School Student Council, wrote in an email to the Collegian, "I've spoken with other graduate students. We are disappointed that the federal government thinks so little of that graduate students that are the foundation of innovation and research in this country. The Senate is expected to vote on the proposed version of the bill in upcoming weeks."
Yesterday, you may have noticed something interesting on the plaza. For the third time in 3 semesters, a free speech wall was built here at CSU. Stuart Smith has the story.
I'm out here on the plaza right now where political group Turning Point USA has built a free speech wall reminiscent of the ones built by the conservative interest group last year that caused a lot of commotion. As you can see, plenty of people have already written many things on here, including Keep the Net Neutral and Latinos and Women for Trump. The wall was built at around 11 yesterday and was designated as a place for anyone to be able to write anything they wanted. According to Will Witt of Turning Point USA, the goal of the wall was to spark conversation on issues and to remind people of their First Amendment rights.
We're just hoping to talk to as many people as possible and get as many people to sign on the wall as we can, right? We want as many people to recognize that the Constitution is a beautiful thing and that the First Amendment is a beautiful thing, and that without that it wouldn't really be America.
While the last 2 free speech walls, which were built by the conservative interest group of Colorado, both caused big commotions onto the plaza, this one was much calmer. Overall, people were much more friendly and respectful to each other than at the others.
So having a different voice and having conversations with all sorts of different people is what we really aim to do.
For more information on this and the other 2 free speech walls, go to collegian.com.
A new Pride Center art director at CSU places emphasis on intersectionality.
Dora Frias started the director position in October for the Pride Resource Center, a center focused on providing resources and support for all CSU community members to explore and increase their understanding of orientation, gender, and identity intersection.
He comes in with a wealth of knowledge, personal experience, and drive and passion and intentionality to really bring to the center and to the students and to CSU a real framework of intersectionality that we are really thirsty for here.
From the time she has spent at CSU, Frias has gotten feedback of which she hopes will help her identify the needs of students.
Have been receiving feedback about specifically queer students of color not feeling always welcome in our space, and so it's something that I'm definitely keeping in mind as we think about our future and our future directions.
Frias also hopes to provide educational opportunities for the CSU community.
Fria says her first goal is to get to know the CSU community and students and understand their needs. For more information on the Pride Resource Center, visit prideresourcecenter.colostate.edu.
Earlier this month, residents of Fort Collins passed a bill that would provide residents a government-funded internet option. This bill is set to cost $150 million, but the city is planning on making that money back through consumers buying internet packages. The city has begun taking steps towards making this measure a reality. These steps include a discussion on fair pricing to allow all residents access to high-speed internet no matter the income. Officials have been quoted saying the goal is not to make money, but instead provide a service for Fort Collins. No pricing has been set so far, but if you're looking for a cheaper, faster internet alternative, this may just end up being that.
In-N-Out is finally coming to Colorado. Earlier today, the restaurant released news that it will soon be opening a branch in Colorado Springs. Marlo, what do you think about that?
I think this is awesome. You know, I love In-N-Out. I've been waiting for it to come to Colorado and the Midwest for a long time. What do you think?
I am really excited. Have you had In-N-Out before?
I have. I think I've just had a basic cheeseburger, but it was amazing. I am so excited. Have you?
You know what? I've actually loved the animal fries. So it's on their secret menu, but
there's a secret menu?
There is a secret menu, Marlo.
I didn't even know about it. We'll have to go.
We will. It's a date.
We'll check it out.
We'll definitely go.
Well, that's all we have for news this semester.
Stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment right after this.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. But I could see it. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Good evening, Rams. I'm your weather anchor, Michelangelo Bustamante. The weather right now is pretty nice, but over the next couple of days, it's definitely going to be changing a lot. So let's get right down to the forecast. So currently right now, it is 36 degrees outside. The winds are coming in at 4 miles an hour, and it's partly cloudy. So while it may be a little bit chilly, we should definitely enjoy this weather because for the last day in November, it could be a lot worse. So as we take a look over the temperatures tomorrow across the state of Colorado, it's going to be a pretty nice day, above average weather. So in Fort Collins, it's going to be 58 degrees, 62 in Denver, 66 in the Springs. Up in Vail, it's going to be 50 degrees, so well above average up there. They've been having trouble opening the ski resort, and it looks like that's going to continue at least for the next couple of days. Up in Sterling, it's going to be 60 degrees, 66 in Lamar, 69 in Pueblo, and 57 in Grand Junction. So once again, all over the state, well above average temperatures, but we should definitely be enjoying that because, as I mentioned earlier, the weather is about to change. So tomorrow in Fort Collins, once again, 51 degrees with a low of 25. It's going to be sunny, really nice weather. On Saturday, much of the same as well, so 55 degrees as the high, 30 is the low with perfectly sunny skies. Then on Sunday, though, that weather starts to change. So when you wake up Sunday morning, it's going to be pretty nice, 51 degrees and sunny. But as the day goes on, we're going to see a cold front moving in through Colorado, and it's going to change our weather. So first, it's going to start off as rain. But then by the evening, we should be having snow here in Fort Collins. The low is going to be 19 degrees. And then check out the temperature on Monday. It's going to be 30 degrees with 6 degrees as the low, and we should have some measurable snow. So definitely, for any updates on that forecast, be sure to stay tuned to the Collegian or CTV. And then once again on Tuesday,
The sun will return. It'll be 32 degrees though, so it's going to be much cooler. So definitely take advantage of these nice warm temperatures these next couple of days before the weather changes. So now before I go, I'd like to say a couple of things. This is going to be my last show here at CTV because in a little over 2 weeks, I'm going to be graduating. And I really just wanted to say thank you to all the viewers and everyone here at CTV for giving me this amazing opportunity. I've learned so much through my time here. About a year ago, I walked into this room and I didn't know anyone or anything about journalism. But I saw this sponsored out on the Collegian and I figured I'd give it a shot. And you know, here I am a year later. I've learned so much. I've grown in so many ways. I've really enjoyed reporting stories to you and telling you about the weather or other live reports. And it's been a real pleasure and a real honor, and it's taught me so much that I'll definitely continue into the future. So thank you very much. Good night, Rams.
You are listening to 90.5 KCSU Fort Collins with DJ Meanbeat,
DJ Nightshade, DJ Wildcard. Music to me is one of the best creative outlets that I can think of. An escape from the real world.
Music to me is an expression of love.
Go from like folk to hip hop to like classic rock, 1960s bossa nova. With music, there's like no boundaries.
I work here because I love music, and you do too.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back from the break, and thanks for tuning in to the last Thursday night sports show this fall semester. I'm Jared Stratton, here to catch you up with everything you missed in CSU athletics. The Colorado State football team finished up their regular season schedule here on campus against the San Jose State Spartans. The Rams celebrated 23 graduating seniors and handed the Spartans a 42-14 loss. CSU was led by senior quarterback Nick Stevens, who finished 26th of 32 for 305 yards and 3 total touchdowns. Stevens set the single-season school record this year with 7 games of 300-plus yards passing. Dalen Dawkins entered the contest as the nation's 12th leading rusher, and Dawkins surpassed the 100-yard mark for the 7th time in 8 games. Dawkins finished with 138 yards and a touchdown on 21 total rushes. Dalen Dawkins is now 3rd all-time on the CSU rushing list. Wide receiver and Belindikoff Award semifinalist Michael Gallup finished with just 7 catches for 47 total yards. Colorado State will find out where and who they are going to be bowling against this Sunday, December 3rd. The Rams finished their 2017 campaign with a 7-5 record. CSU men's basketball traveled to Jamaica over the break and had a tough time on the road. The Rams lost 3 games on the road to Tulane, Florida State, and New Mexico State. When CSU returned home to the Moby Arena, the Rams took on Northwestern State and handed the Demons a 72-60 loss. CSU's record moves to 3-4 overall, and they will place the CSU Buffs. They play the CSU Buffs on Saturday at Moby Arena. Tip-off is set for 11 a.m. Women's basketball was able to split their 2 games over break. CSU traveled down to Norman, Oklahoma, to take on the Sooners. The Rams kept the score respectable in the first half, but were unable to keep the pace in the second half, losing 78-46. Although the team was able to regroup at home against North Carolina Central, picking up an 85-48 victory. The Rams were led by freshman Laura DeVos, who finished with a team-high 15 points and also grabbing 8 rebounds. CSU will take on Denver tonight on the road. Tip-off was set for 7 p.m. The volleyball team wrapped up their regular season now against non-conference opponent UC Davis on Saturday. CSU was led by Jasmine Hanna and Paulina Hogar Jensen, who recorded 14 and 11 kills. As a team, the Rams had a .327 percentage and recorded 16 blocks to UC Davis 5. Sophomore setter Katie Oleksak posted 44 sacks to go along with 6 digs and 5 blocks. And Christy Hillier tied with career high with 11 total stuffs. The Rams clinched their 8th Mountain West title in 9 years, and they will make their 22nd NCAA tournament. CSU will take on the Michigan Wolverines in the first round of the NCAA tomorrow at 5:30. Well, that's all the sports I have for tonight, and unfortunately the rest of the semester. Make sure to check the Collegian.com and CTV Channel 11 YouTube for all the latest in CSU athletics. I'm Jared Stratton, and up next is Ryan Crist with entertainment.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
What's up, Rams? My name's Ryan Crist, and we're here on another fantastic Thursday and our last Thursday of the semester. So let's jump right into all things entertainment one last time this semester. Now that it is officially after Thanksgiving, I think it's appropriate to get into the holiday spirit. Hence, all of my holiday cheer. And thankfully, right here in Fort Collins, the Lincoln Center is hosting the Canyon Concert Ballet, accompanied by the Fort Collins Symphony Orchestra and the performance of the Nutcracker. If you're like me, you may just be asking yourself, wait, have I ever even seen the Nutcracker before? And if you're me, that answer is nope. So for all you out there like me, the Nutcracker is a ballet about a young girl and her Christmas Eve adventures after she is given a magical nutcracker. The shows will be December 8th through 10th, and the tickets can be found online at the Lincoln Center website. In some other holiday news, the CSU Marching Band will be performing in the annual 9 News Parade of Lights this Friday. This year, the Parade of Lights takes place December 1st through 12th. The 2-mile parade begins at the Denver Civic Center and concludes at the corner of 14th Street and Glenarm Place. The CSU Marching Band's only parade appearance is on Friday, December 1st. The parade starts at 8 p.m., and if you haven't seen it before, the CSU's 265 musicians, Color Guard, Golden Palms, joined by the CSU Cheers and Cam the Ram, will lead the numerous floats, balloons, and dozens of holiday characters as the only collegiate marching band in the parade. Fun fact, I was in the parade last year as a tenor saxophone, and let me tell you, it was definitely as cold as it looks. I'll definitely be much more watching it this year. On Wednesday morning, the new Avengers Infinity War trailer dropped, and it set new records. In 24 hours, it got over 230 million views, which beat the previous record, which was set by It. And while all the Marvel movies kind of follow the same Marvel movie structure, I'm very excited for this movie. The build-up for this movie took 10 years, starting with the first Iron Man in 2008. Since then, we've had 18 different, I mean, if you want to call them different, they're kind of all the same movie, but with different characters. Anyways, there are 18 different movies that have built the story of Thanos, the main villain in this film, and the Infinity Stones that he is after. This film will feature every single main character from each of these movies, which is around 21 main characters. Since there are so many characters, this will be a Part 1, and Part 2 will come out sometime in 2019. Part 1 comes out in March 2018, and I'm more than excited to see all of our heroes in one film. Are you in need for some holiday music? Because the UCA has you covered.
At the UCA on Wednesday, they were doing a dress rehearsal for the Holiday Spectacular show. The actual performance will be on Sunday at 7.
My boy.
This show features the U Chorus Chamber Choir, Concert Orchestra, and over 300 total performers. This show is put together each year and uses students from the dance studio, music studio, and the theater department at the UCA. This concert features all the classics which they encourage you to sing along to. As well as these classics, they also perform more traditional holiday songs. The Holiday Spectacular Show is also a fundraiser which benefits the music student.
Yeah, so all the proceeds from tonight's concert benefit students via scholarship, programmatic support, things like that. So obviously tonight's concert was free, but on Thursday and Sunday our actual shows, there's admission. Additionally, we take donations down in the lobby. So all of those proceeds go to benefit all of our students who are music majors, music minors, students who are playing in the ensembles, everything like that.
They even had a special performance from Mrs. Claus and many other surprises throughout the night.
Mrs. Claus, vocalist extraordinaire.
This show will be Sunday at 7 p.m. and I don't think you want to miss out. Well, I am joined up here on desk with collegiate music reviewer Alec Erickson. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
You're great. So we're going to be talking about the Grammys since they have been announced for 2018. So first off, with Record of the Year, what do you think about the nominations?
So with Record of the Year, we have some pretty kind of strong albums out there. So we obviously have Humble from Kendrick Lamar. We got Redbone from Childish Gambino, but they're going to call him Donald Glover because award shows want to be more fancy like this. Of course. You also have 24K Magic by Bruno Mars. You have The Story of OJ from Jay-Z. And then finally you have Despacito from Justin Bieber and the rest of that crew. And so it's a very strong mix. And what's surprising about this is the first time in 60 years that the Grammys don't have a white male for this category. And so this is a huge step for them. I think they're trying to make a larger step to be more relevant for the first time in all of the Grammys. And clearly it's showing because there's a lot of positive reaction from fans for something like this.
Of course, I totally agree. So with Record of the Year, which one do you think we can just eliminate right now? Which ones do you think won't even be a contester?
I am going to say The Story of OJ from Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z has a lot stronger stuff outside of this, and I don't think this is going to win this category. Honestly, to me, I think it's going to come down between either Humble or Redbone. I think Redbone has a stronger appeal to a lot of fans. I think that's the fan favorite at the current given moment. Despacito, I could see it just because it was a summer jam and a lot of people had fun with it, but I don't necessarily think it's going to stand out as the Record of the Year.
I agree. I think Childish Gambino and Kendrick Lamar, they have a lot of nominations, and I feel like it's going to be between them for a lot of things. I also really don't want Despacito to win because I'm so tired of hearing that song.
I think everyone's a little tired of hearing that song. Even the people who have made that are clearly tired of singing it. If Justin Bieber came and remember the lyrics to the song when he gets up on stage and performs it. So I think a lot of it comes from the fact that Redbone is just a lot more different. It's not generic. It has a lot more pacing and progression throughout the song, whereas Humble is very clearly, it was a well done and a well produced track as well. So I think it's mainly going to come down to those two, whereas Despacito was just like almost a cash grab kind of song where it was designed to be a summer hit.
Exactly. And so moving on kind of towards Album of the Year, of course we're talking a lot about Childish Gambino and Kendrick Lamar, and they're both on there, of course, with Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. So what do you think about Album of the Year?
Album of the Year is, once again, that's going to be pretty close as well. Obviously, we have Lords also getting that category with Melodrama, and I think that was one of the most fantastic records that Lords put out personally, even though it's her sophomore release. And obviously, we have 444 from Jay-Z, which was a phenomenal record as well. And so it's a really tight category. I'm going to rule out Bruno Mars to start with just because I don't think it's going to stack up as well as comparison to the rest of the category. But I might just have to lean with Awaken My Love, probably.
I agree. I agree what you said about Bruno Mars with 24K Magic. It was a good album, but I feel like it's not a standout in this category, and I don't think he can really compete with those other top four.
Certainly. Bruno Mars has been a phenomenal musician throughout his career. I just don't think that this is his strongest work to date, and he's obviously had a lot better records come out, and so I don't think this is the one that's going to win a Grammy.
Of course. And on to our last main category, of course, that's Best New Artist. And what do you really think about that? There's a lot of new people, and I didn't frankly really hear a lot of these people. I had to look them up to...
make sure I knew who they were because they were very new. And
You're telling me you never heard of Little Uzi Vert? You're telling me that right now.
I have not. I'll be honest. I have not.
So I mean, this is a pretty, for the people in the know, Ryan. That's not you.
Not me.
That's not you. There's actually, this is a pretty strong category. I'm going to say, I think the Grammys did pretty well with Best New Artist of the Year, just because you have Lil Uzi Vert, you have Khaled, and then you have SZA, and so there's a lot of strong contenders here, and they all had phenomenal songs that come out, phenomenal records that all came out, and so I think this is going to be a very tight category to win. And so honestly, in my opinion, come down to Khaled, maybe SCA, but I think it's going to be really close on this one.
Well, I'll have to take your word for it because I'm not in the know. But anyways, before we go, of course, I do want to talk about next year's Grammys because we have, you know, Taylor Swift, all of her new albums. And of course, she didn't make the cutoff.
Yes.
So did the old Taylor just not die fast enough, or are we just going to be looking for her in 2019?
So Taylor Swift is smart about what she does with her records. She always releases her records after the year that it comes out, Grammy like cutoff date, just so it generates this press buzz of people like, oh, Taylor Swift got snubbed, and so that's what a lot of people tend to think.
Of course she
and
does.
So yeah, she'll probably pick up a nomination or two for the following year, but this year a lot of people are just upset because Reputation is there. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be nominated for a whole lot that a lot of people are thinking of, but we'll see in the following year.
Yeah, who knows? Well, first, thank you, Alec, for being on the show. Of course, I appreciate you coming up here.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, Rams, this is all the time I have for you this semester. And to wrap it all up, I'm going to invite our anchors who will not be returning us with us next semester. We have Marlo Lundak, Michelangelo Bustamante, and the ghost of Tyler Patterson. Don't worry, he's not dead. He's just not here. I'm Ryan Crist.
I'm Marlo Lundak.
I'm Michelangelo Bustamante.
Have a great night, Rams.